Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Math is Easy, step by step. Here, in part three, we left off in part two. This is part three video. In part two, we left off with making sure in scientific notation that both of the terms we want to add to find the sum is just, all sum means is the answer to an addition problem. We wanted to make sure that both of those were like terms. We manipulated the beginning term by moving the decimal to the left in front of the 2, and then we were able to add a 1 to the 6 in the exponent's place to get like terms. So what we're going to do here now is it's so much easier to add without a calculator. We got decimals. And it's so much easier to add decimals by stacking the values, right, in order to add. We're going to stack the values. What does that look like? Well, you can see here. We're going to stack the values. 1.3 times 10 to the 7th, 0.23 times 10 to the 7th. We line up the decimals when we add or subtract decimals, all right? Now, 10 to the 7th power, 10 to the 7th power is going to stay 10 to the 7th power in scientific notation when we add or subtract, okay? So again, we line up the decimals. Now, you see this dot 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 right here. All right, and here, these are both invisible zeros. Check out my videos on invisible ones. And this is an invisible zero, right? It wasn't there in part in part one, part two video, but I'm showing it to you. They're just placeholders, okay? They're just placeholders. You could write a whole zero in there. You could write a whole zero here. For me, I'm an instructor and I'm trying to teach you that this is an invisible zero, but really you could just write that zero there. It's an invisible zero here, but you could write that zero there. It's just a placeholder to help you. Okay, that's all that is. And when you add with decimals, you add top to top, bottom to bottom. You keep that decimal lined up in your answer, all right? You keep that lined up in your answer. So you must line up the decimals. And again, we're not allowed to use calculators, so you're going to be doing this manually, kind of like I'm showing you here. And then, so again, you must line up the decimals when manually adding with decimals, right? So I rewrote this to show you, okay? Without those dot 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 zeros. I just wrote those zeros in right here. And again, the arrow I'm showing you, you just bring that decimal right down, just keep it lined up, right? So 0 plus 3 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 1 plus 0 is 1. Let me ask you something. Is this number between 1.0 and 9.9? Remember, that's the rule. This first term has got to be between those two numbers. If it's not, you got to manipulate it like we did in that last part 2 video, which will add or subtract depending on your circumstance, that exponential power. But yes, this is a number. 1.53 is between 1 and 9.9, so we don't have to manipulate anything. We're good to go. That's going to be our answer. And our answer for this particular problem is D. D is in darling. All right. So if you were working this problem in that part 1 video and you skipped to part 3 video, hopefully you found out that 1.53 times 10 to the 7th is the correct answer. 1.53 times 10 to the 6th was a distractor option. Option C was a distractor. All right, so if you're going to work on finding a practice worksheet. Oh, pardon that. That was just so sloppy. That was sloppy. Whew, that was sloppy. Hey, and this is kind of sloppy too. So I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. And so let's just take a look here. I'll go one at a time. So you want to conduct an internet search to practice your skills, right? So what you would enter in on any internet search would be worksheets with answers on converting scientific notation into standard form. Remember, you want those answers because when you practice with these problems, you want to know if you're doing it right or doing it wrong. If you're doing it wrong, go back. Look at all the steps that you took. Which one, where did you make the mistake? Oh, learn from it. Don't make that mistake again and keep practicing. You're going to get better, better, and better. I promise you, if you give it a try and you don't quit, you're going to get better and better and better and better. All right, go ahead and also do a worksheet. Search on the internet for worksheets with answers, like term versus non-like terms, right? You're going to be able to determine what are like terms versus what are not like terms. Okay, do another internet search for worksheets with answers on adding with scientific notation. So you can practice some of those problems that we just did. And again, the more practice you do with answers, build your confidence. Listen, mathematics, a lot of math is writing clearly to spot your mistakes. A lot of math is finding those mistakes, not doing them again, gaining confidence that you can do these type of problems over and over and over again. You get it right almost every time. So build that confidence. Look for worksheets with answers on adding with scientific notation. Let's see here. And then finally, you want to find worksheets. I'm losing my voice. You You want to find worksheets with answers on manually adding and subtracting problems with scientific notation. And I'd also add in there, I didn't have it on my paper, but you can also add worksheets with answers on adding with decimals, right? Manually adding with decimals. That will also help your skills. Hey, math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your stars, your gifts, your donations. Please like, follow, and share these videos. Help me help others. Make math easy. Because math is easy, step by step. Thank you for joining.